Hi everyone, and welcome back to New Model Monday Live for our July edition. I can't believe it's already July. It's the middle of the summer. We're halfway through the year.
Yeah, time has just been flying by. Tyler here, along with Matt, for New Model Monday Live. We're happy to have everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube. Hope everybody is staying cool or staying dry wherever you are in the country or in the world. And we've got some great new samples to show you today.
We do. Looking forward to seeing them myself because we've had quite a few interesting things come through from the factory in the last month. So, Tyler, I think without further ado, I'm gonna put you solo on the screen now, and you can take it away.
Yeah, let's get right into it with our pre-production samples. Last month for June was a very HO heavy show, and this one we're going to have be a little more N scale focused because we had our big new sample reveal at the National N Scale Convention a week and a half ago in Kansas City. It was a great time attending that, and now we're going to show it off on New Model Monday Live. These are the decorated samples for the N scale Siemens Venture cars. So to bring this up to the camera here, a little bit far away because I'm going to be demonstrating some of the functions of these great models on the test track right here. But here is the Amtrak Midwest Venture car. This is all new tooling from original Siemens documentation, just like the original cars in HO scale. Some of the certainly the most detailed passenger cars we've ever done in N scale, and I think some of the most detailed in the industry right now.
Yeah,
So
these
I'll
are
bring
really
it up
amazing
close.
cars. Just looking at it, I mean, a testament to the detail is it looks like you've literally just picked up a scaled down version of the HO one, and there's nothing missing from that's found on the HO one.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll find all the same great features like the separately applied wire grab irons. You've got a fully detailed car-specific interior, road name-specific exterior details from the roof antennas to the door and window configuration. You've got these end marker lights and doors on the Amtrak Midwest versions, different receptacles for electricity and water, and all the other utilities on board the train. Those are different between the Amtrak Midwest and the Via Rail Canada versions. Fully lit interiors, track powered lighting, detailed underbody, all the great features from the HO scale version scaled down into N scale.
And
So
the marker lights, they actually are user controllable, right?
yeah, I'm going to show that off in just a second. I'm going to just set these up in front of the camera here. I've got all four of the road numbers for the Amtrak Midwest release here. These are the known internally as the 1A coach cars, and these are the traditionally coupled single unit coaches. So you can see they've got the Easy Mate Mark II couplers on either end. Now we'll put the two, I have two here that have the interior lights in them, so I'm going to pop them on the test track and you all can see the interior lighting. Get this on the track here and slide her down. And there you have it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Nice bright interior lighting to show off all that detail, all the seating here, the 2x2 coach class seating. Now I'm going to angle the camera here a little bit and tell you what Matt was just saying about the user-controlled marker lights. Hopefully this will show up decently on the camera.
Watch those freight cars in the corner there.
Yeah, I got them. So if you're able to see right down here where my finger is pointing, you may want to go full screen or whatever your device you're using to make sure you can see this. So you've got the two red LED marker lights here on the end of the car, and on some passenger cars, those are lit all the time in N scale. We were able to do the user-controlled marker lights just like we did in HO scale. So the marker lights are controlled. Lift this one off the track here. in this underbody compartment, we have little toggle switches. I'm going to pry this off here. This first sample gives a little resistance, but it'll be a lot easier to take off in production. So there you have your two toggle switches for the marker lights. We're going to say this car is the first car in the consist behind the locomotive in front of the second car. So we're going to flip these two switches. They're on right now. We're going to flip them to off, just like so. Set this back on the track. And you should be able to see now that the marker lights are off. So just like on the prototype, if your coach is in the middle of the consist, you can have those marker lights on instead of just rolling around with them on all the time. And then now I'll take slide this down, and we're going to do the same thing with the other car. We are going to configure that one to be our tail end car, bringing up the rear of the train. So we're going to turn the marker lights on. The one end of the car that's going to be coupled up to this coach, we're going to turn those off. And we're going to keep the other marker lights on. So that way they will prototypically be lit on only the one end. And there you have it.
Very
Bringing
cool.
up the rear of the train.
Yeah, it's just about visible on the camera, but we'll certainly put out some photos and videos at some point to demonstrate this in more detail as these become closer to release.
Yeah, we will definitely be showing them all off. So I'm going to take this off the track now, and just like the Siemens charger locomotives, these have become very popular equipment with multiple commuter railroads across North America. Of course, we have Amtrak Midwest, and then Via Rail Canada as well. You'll see right here, I actually have this is also a recent arrival. This is a production sample of the Siemens SCV42 charger for Via Rail Canada in the package, which means that production is coming along, and we should be seeing these locomotives arriving in stores in a number of months. And for those of you who haven't seen the N-Scale SCV42 in a while, I'm going to pop it on the track here, and then we're going to show off the matching venture cars. And you'll see right here, it's the most exciting one, the matching venture cab car for Via Rail.
We unfortunately don't have a painted sample of that to show yet.
We don't. Yeah, that one is taking a little time. This is a fully functional engineering sample, and I'm going to demonstrate the DCC light and sound functions of that. And you can see here the family resemblance. There you go. So you can see this SCV42 is fully functional. But we're going to roll it out of the way here so we can show off the main attraction. And we're going to assemble the entire Via Rail Venture consist here because we have all of the cars. So we're starting off. The Via Rail Canada consists are made out of 5 cars for their corridor service. And unlike the Midwest cars, each car in this consist and in this release is unique from each other. In that they all have, there's coach class and business class cars, and each one has different exterior door arrangements. You have the 2x1 seating for business class, the 2x2 seating for coach. So this is not a one-size-fits-all situation by any means. These are specific down to the class of service, so you can completely accurately recreate the entire Via Rail Canada consist. This is actually going to be the first car behind your charger locomotive. This is the business class N car. Bring it up nice and close. You can see here, you've got the sealed end door. This butts up against the locomotive. Since passengers are not going to be passing through here, they just plated over that door. But you can see here how the end details are completely different from the Amtrak Midwest version. You've got no marker lights. You've got different receptacles and connections. I'm going to set this down on the track here. Again, not all of these samples are lighted, but of course, every production model will have track-powered lighting. We're going to add the second business class car on here. There's your interior lights.
And do these have the easy mates on them or the close couplers?
These have easy mates, and I'm going to tell you about the close couplers as well. Just like an HO scale, we're offering a close coupling option for all the venture cars, both the Amtrak Midwest and the VIA cars, which allows you to better replicate how closely coupled together the cars are on the prototype. And in the case of the VIA rail consist, since this is a semi-permanently coupled train set, this will it actually uses European style hook and link couplers, I believe, to connect these couplers on the prototype. So we added the close coupling option to replicate that. So we'll bring
That's
the
interesting.
VIA coach up to the camera here. For demonstration purposes, this end has an easy-mate coupler, and this is how they will come in the package. And we're going to turn it around. This is the close coupler option on the end. You'll see it is black, and it's got a little bit of a funky European style claw kind of setup here. Both of these couplers use NEM pockets, so you can interchange them freely as you please. You can try other NEM coupler options if you would like. And these cars come installed with the Easy Mates knuckle couplers in the package, but each car will include the two close couplers that can be interchanged for them. So here's the two coaches with one close coupler on each end, and this is what it looks like when they come together. And just to give you a visual, I'm going to set these on top of the ones that are just coupled using the Easy Mate. You'll never see this on the prototype, but it's possible with Bachmann. So you can see here, hopefully on the camera, just a little bit closer. Those vestibules come together just a little bit closer compared to when you're using the Easy Mate on the bottom cars here.
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference in that. The diaphragms are almost touching, and of course, there is a purpose to both style of couplers. That obviously, Easy Mate is our proprietary knuckle coupler that we use across our line. So that makes these cars compatible with other cars throughout the Bachmann line and throughout other North American models from other manufacturers. But it'll also allow you to run on slightly tighter curves. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, the close couplers will limit the radius a little bit.
They will, yes. You'll need a slightly wider radius. We're going a minimum of 12.5 if you're using the Easy Mates, and I believe 15 is the next size up if you're using the close couplers. And of course, the knuckle coupler, the Easy Mate on the end car, couples up to the Charger locomotive like so. So we have a nearly complete decorated consist for Via Rail Canada. It looks just as good as it did in HO scale. Now we're going to kind of get into the main event here. And that's going to be demonstrating the cab car. Again, this is a engineering sample that is not yet painted, but it does have the decoder on board and all the light and sound functions. So this will give you a feel for it. I'm going to mute the charger here so you can hear this a little bit better. There you go. The charger is now muted. And now we can pop the cab car on the track. There you have it. One other note about this as an engineering sample, you will see that the interior lighting is a different color from the rest of the coaches, but this was just for testing purposes only. When we go into production, all the interior lighting will match. Now we're in function mode here on the cab car. It has directional lighting and headlight with the auxiliary light, just like the locomotive. And let's hear that TCS wow sound.
I can't believe that's coming out of an N scale model. It's so crisp.
Yeah. Got the trademark wow sound whooshing noise there. Because this is just a cab car, doesn't have a prime mover like a locomotive, there are fewer sound options, but the ones that it does have are crystal clear. You've got your bell, of course, your long and short horn, your whoosh sound, and then this is the HVAC system actually hooking in, which is probably the most noise you're going to get out of these cars on the prototype.
Unfortunately, it's the least noise we're getting out of it on here because I think the echo
Yeah,
cancellation on the on the streaming app here is canceling it out.
yeah. I don't know if that makes it any more audible.
No, I don't. At least on this end, I can't hear it very well. But take it from both of us. We've heard it in person, and it does sound fantastic.
Yeah, I think we'll have to talk about putting together some short videos to show as of all the lighting functions and sound functions we're talking about with these venture cars because they have to be seen and heard to be believed, especially in N scale.
Absolutely new, yeah.
I did mention the directional lighting. This can, of course, if you were using DCC and consisting with the Charger locomotive, uh, you'll be able to configure it so that when the Charger locomotive is in forward, the red marker lights will come up on the cab car's trailing car, and then vice versa. If you are pushing in reverse with the Charger, the headlights will come on the cab car as well.
And these do come with fully detailed instructions for how to consist your train correctly, so everything will work as it should in DCC as well.
That is correct. So there you have it. That is the nuts and bolts of the Siemens Venture passenger cars in N scale. If you're an N scale modeler who's been seeing the HO scale ones and you've just been so jealous and saying when are these coming to N scale, they'll be on their way. We're looking at a timeline approximately of towards the end of 2024 into early 2025. All the same
I would roll that forward by a year.
You're right. Yeah, end of 2025, early 2026. That these will be arriving in stores. So stay tuned for more updates on the N-Scale Venture cars.
Awesome, and awesome seeing the whole train put together like that. I think it really, especially with these passenger cars, you really don't get a sense of just how cool they look until you see them all together in a prototypical consist.
Yeah, it's the this is the future of for I'd say actually it's the present right now for commuter passenger trains in a lot of places, and it's going to be the future in some cases for Amtrak's long distance service. So we're happy to bring them exclusively to HO and N scale.
That we are. So what else do you have for us? Looks like you have a couple of N scale freight cars there.
We do, yeah. These are not quite exactly as groundbreaking as the Venture cars, but they are still pretty sharp looking. So I've got two new N scale freight cars here. First is the new road name for our 52-foot flat car. This is a Burlington order number 612779. From what I could tell from the photograph I found of this car for reference, I believe this was used in MOW service by the time it was painted in Burlington Northern colors. Very sharp looking, green all over with the black trucks. Perfect to put whatever kind of custom load you would like on there. And then we also have a brand new single dome tank car in N scale. And this is another very colorful car and also kind of fits in with the Canadian theme. This is the Beehive Corn Syrup single dome tank car. You'll see it's these cars were owned by the St. Lawrence Starch Company in Port Credit, Ontario, and hold corn syrup from Canada, I believe, into the U.S. as well. There are photographs of these on American trains. And it's a very colorful tank car, which you don't always get, especially not this combination of yellow on the top, kind of a royal blue on the bottom. So very sharp looking car and a great addition to our N scale range.
It's probably worth mentioning also that these single dome tank cars were the tooling was updated several years ago, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. If you, for those of you who may have had a N-scale Bachmann train set from the 1970s up to about the late 2000s, this is a completely new from the ground up model, not the same as the train set version. This is specifically a prototype of a 36-foot ACF 10,000 gallon tank car. So you've got all kinds of fine underbody detail. You've got the vertical brake wheel there, which I think is a really nice touch. I always like the cars with the vertical brake wheels; makes them stand out from the later body-mounted brake wheels. And you've got your separately applied ladders and your metal wire handrails as well.
Really nice looking car.
Yes, it is. So that's all I have for N scale. Like I said, a very N scale focused edition this month. But we do have an HO scale reveal as well. And those are some new road names for our HO scale GP40. We'll start first with the DCC on board model that is joining our range. It's a brand new paint scheme. The family line system, sublettered for the Louisville and Nashville. Those of you who are modeling the Southeast in the 1970s, Louisville, Nashville in particular, this is going to be a must-have. This has DCC on board. It does not have sound, but it kind of creates a nice little mid-budget range option there for those of you who want to get into DCC but aren't quite ready to make the full plunge into a DCC sound model. This offers a nice in-between. And we have several other road names already available for the DCC on board GP40 as well. I like fond of the black and white kind of zebra stripe plow on these units.
Yeah, that really takes the paint scheme from being cool to really standing out.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an extra touch of color there. And I mentioned the DCC ready models. They're a very tried and true entry level, budget friendly locomotive that's been in our line for many years now. We've got two very sharp looking new paint schemes for it. These will be equipped with a 21 pin plug, so if you want to upgrade to DCC, you can just drop right in a 21 pin DCC decoder of your choice. So we've got the ever popular CSX Bright Future, which we've offered previously in the DCC on board range, and now we're adding it to DCC ready. So we've got the CSX number 6604. I believe these are former Conrail units.
And this is with the updated gray as well.
Yes, yeah, there was a time where our Bright Future CSX locomotives, the gray, had kind of shifted to a darker hue, so we've been revising those models to give it a more accurate light gray color. I would say this is probably my favorite CSX paint scheme. I like HTM as well, or Dark Future, however you want to call it. But I think the yellow, blue, and gray, that's just classic, modern classic.
It's definitely the most striking of their schemes.
Yeah. And then finally, we have a very exciting reveal, our first time ever doing a model for this locomotive for any railroad, or for any model, I should say. Pan Am Railways, for those of you who modeling the modern Northeast and have been requesting Pan Am Railways for a long time. We're happy to bring it to you in partnership with Pan Am Brands as an official licensee. This locomotive features the authentic Pan Am branding. You've got the wing globe on the side of the locomotive, and you've got the classic Pan Am globe on the front. That classic airline branding that had a second life in New England railroading. This particular unit, number 313, is sublettered for the Main Central. I believe this was originally ordered as a Main Central unit. Very distinctive looking with this royal blue color from top to bottom, including the fuel tank and trucks. And it's the first of hopefully many collaborations with the Pan Am brand that we're going to be doing in the future.
If you saw our catalog, our 2025 catalog announcements, you'll see that we also have a outside brace boxcar coming in both HO and N scale in the Pan Am paint scheme as well.
Yeah, that's correct. We'll have a matching freight car as well. we'll hopefully have samples of those boxcars to show in a future New Model Monday.
Very cool.
And that's all I have for the upcoming releases. Hope everybody out there is excited for these, the venture cars, the GP40s. And we're going to kind of move on now to some. I think Matt may have one or two more upcoming releases, and then we have some new arrivals as well that are shipping out now to dealers.
Yeah, yeah. So behind me here, I've got a few products to talk about. Most of them are in stock now, or about to be in stock. But we'll start with a couple of refreshes. We did talk about these on Thomas Tuesday with Train World last week, but for anyone who wasn't able to make that show, we have our first sample of the open carriage for our Thomas and Friends HO 00 scale line. It's got interior seats, really nice detail on the sides. You've got see-through decorative ends there. And this is an unpainted sample, so this is not the final paint scheme that you'll see them in, but we're hoping to see these hopefully by early 2026. And in HON 30 narrow gauge, we also have these, which are going to be in stock very shortly. These should be shipping to. Are these shipping to retailers now, Tyler, or are they still on the water?
They are, yes. They're in the warehouse at Bachmann, and we are shipping them out to fulfill orders. If you can't find it in your hobby shop, or you didn't have a pre-order, you can still purchase them. Just reach out to your local hobby shop and ask them to place an order for these high side wagons.
Yep, and these are they're the Blue Mountain Quarry wagons that you'll see in the CGI era of Thomas, and will look fantastic. We've got several different colors. We've got this one here, which is kind of an umber, and we've got a red, and we've got a green. They'll look really nice in a train all together with one of our many narrow gauge locomotives that you can find in our Thomas and Friends line.
Yeah, those are great looking wagons. So is the open carriage. That's just a those of you who aren't aware, that's brand new tooling that we were doing specifically for the Thomas and Friends range. It's not pre-existing in any way, and we're Thomas line has been going for over 20 years now, and we're still raising the bar with every new release with these brand new, newly tooled freight cars. Just keeps getting better and better.
Certainly trying to.
Mm-hmm.
So then, in our but moving back to the United States for some products that have just arrived that I know a lot of people have been looking forward to.
Yeah, to
We
the
have
United States, away from the island of Sodor.
well the UK, Europe, but yeah, we have the Norfolk and Western smooth side cars. Now we don't have the entire consist yet. The dining cars have not arrived yet. They should be arriving in a future shipment not too long from now. But the baggage car, which you can see here, the coach cars. We've actually got two coach cars, different road numbers, so you can build out a nice consist. It's the 1732 and 1726.
Mm-hmm. Both those I should add are sublettered for the Powhatan Arrow.
Mm-hmm. And then in the box here to demonstrate how they'll look in the packaging, and if you're looking for them in the store, how you'll see them. That's the observation car on the end of the train. So, like I said, the dining car is still yet to come, but the rest of the consist is here and shipping out to retailers now. All of these cars come with fully detailed interiors, metal wheels, and of course interior lighting as well. With an accurate warm white hue for the era that these cars are based on. And of course, you can't have a Powhatan Arrow or Norfolk and Western passenger set without having a Class J to pull it. This one's our latest addition to the Class J series, which is number 611, the one that still exists today in the hands of the Virginia Museum of Transportation. And this is the representing its current appearance with the Spirit of Roanoke name under the cab there, which it gained this variation at least of that graphic shortly before it went to Strasbourg a few years ago, and still wears it today.
Yeah.
This is a DCC sound value model with Soundtrack's economy, again upgraded from our previous sound value offerings. So you've got more variations of sounds to use, and just a very good entry level and beyond, I would say, sound system for your railroad.
Yeah, the economy has really been a great step up for our sound value locomotives, just with the increased sound quality and the additional functions and sound options available. Really happy to have it in the Class J. Just a beautiful locomotive. What else can you say about it? And we now have the matching passenger cars. We've had them in N scale for quite some time now, and it's been long overdue to have them in HO as well to complement the J. One more thing I want to add, if you're concerned about any color matching with these cars, we did match the the maroon and black colors on those passenger cars to the J. So whichever road number of the J you're choosing from Bachmann, it'll perfectly complement those passenger cars.
And they do all look fantastic when you see them in a train together. Which unfortunately I didn't think ahead and make space for a full consist there, but we'll have to show it at some point. Maybe we'll set it up at the next train show. Which, speaking of which, coming up at the end of next week, we'll be at the NMRA National Train Show in Novi, Michigan, near Detroit. Very much looking forward to seeing everyone who's able to make it out to that show, and we'll be excited to show off our latest samples and our good selection from our product line, and we'll have a couple of things that you haven't seen on this show to show off as well.
Yeah, and most importantly, that'll be where we'll be launching our annual mid-year announcements.
Of course.
Yeah, we will have a select few samples on hand to show of those, and we will be launching the full brochure and announcement video for those announcements on Saturday morning of the show. That would be the help me out here, the 19th.
19th, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
so,
got we've got a lot of interesting stuff in this brochure. I think there's something for just about every era or interest of modeler in this, and I'll leave it at that for now.
mhm, definitely.
And just finally here, we also have this is a restock, but it's a much requested restock. We've had people asking for a couple of years now, especially since the rest of the Berkshires came back into stock. One is the Chesapeake and Ohio Kanawha going to be back. Well, that is back in stock and shipping to retailers now. It's been back for about a month and a half or so now, maybe a little bit longer. But just wanted to take this opportunity to show off this model. It's actually, although it features in our Berkshire category, because essentially that's what it is. It does have different configured shell here with the way the domes are configured on the boiler. It's got different details on the front end, and it is very much its own locomotive. So,
Yes, road name specific, C&O specific tender. You've got the low mounted headlight, the smoke box door with the C&O number plate, the sand dome configured in front of the steam dome, as you mentioned. So it's a really nice, kind of overlooked, I think, class of locomotive that has nonetheless been requested a lot by the Chesapeake and Ohio fans. So we're happy to have them in stock. It's available for economy with the first time as well.
yep, just like the
So
Class J. And that is about all I have here. We've gone over. I feel like we've gone over quite a few products today, so I think we could probably move on to the Q&A now. What do you think?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, as usual, I'll start from the top, and if you want to work from the bottom, and we'll go from there. The first question I have here is about the 80th anniversary of Thomas and Friends. So we have, as I mentioned on our Thomas Tuesday live stream with Train World last week, we do have some good news and bad news about that. So I'm going to start with the bad news, but I'm going to end with the good news. So the bad news is the train set, unfortunately, is not going to be happening in that form. Our 80th anniversary train set that we debuted in our 2025 catalog, and the simple reason for that being as a result of what's happened with the economy and tariffs within the last few months. We were unable to guarantee delivery by the end of this year, which means that if, as a 80th anniversary specific product, if we can't have it arrive in the 80th anniversary year, it kind of defeats the purpose for it. But we're going to look into doing some other retro and vintage looking stuff for the range. So it's not going to be something that that's going to be a total loss. But on the good side of things, these, which I wasn't going to show, but since this question came up, I will show. These did arrive, the first samples of our 80th anniversary HO wagons, our ventilated vans. You've got the classic Thomas & Friends Cloud logo version here with the signature blue on the underframe. And then you've got the Thomas the Tank Engine 1945 specially produced graphic by Mattel for the 80th anniversary on the side of this car with the signature red on the chassis. And put them together, they look really nice, and they'll be a really nice collector's piece to have on your Thomas & Friends themed railroad, or any model railroad. It doesn't have to be necessarily just a Thomas & Friends themed one.
Yeah, really sharp looking cards. I really like the retro logo one with the Thomas and Friends, the Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends logo that I grew up with. So yes, unfortunately we are not moving forward with the set at this time, but we may be able to revisit it in another form in the future. No promises, but we'll see what our options are.
Definitely.
As long as we're talking Thomas and Friends, I had a couple of questions about some recent announcements, some upcoming announcements. We don't have any updates on any of the N scale items that we've announced recently. Diesel, Paxton, Henry are still all in the design phase. We don't have any samples to show them for them yet, but we'll hopefully have something by the end of the year. Right now, we're looking like we're going to ship those in 2026, and likewise for the 80th. Not technically 80th anniversary, but it's a little bit of a throwback. The LBSC Thomas and Origin James. Nothing to show for them at this moment, but of course we'll show them on Thomas Tuesday or New Model Monday as soon as we can. And on that note, had a question about any hints for the new Thomas announcements. The one hint I'll say is that we are only doing announcements in HO scale this year. As I mentioned, with the N scale items we're getting caught up on, don't want to. We're not ready at this time to add any more new N scale projects on top of those.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some ideas that we'll possibly revisit in 2026. And likewise for large scale, we have some ideas. We're waiting for the right time to make any announcements. I will say the HO scale announcement is something that I think is going to be a little bit unexpected. I think will make a lot of people happy, and that's all I'm going to say right now. I think people will be very satisfied with what we're bringing out for the Thomas announcements.
I'll just add one more hint, and I think it's something that will appeal to fans of most era, almost every era of the TV Thomas and Friends.
Definitely.
So let's see. I'm seeing a few questions here that have popped up about the status of the 19th century 460 in N scale. We don't really have any updates on that other than what we previously shared. Again, it's still in development. But Tyler, since this is a project you're working directly on, is there anything you can speak to on that?
Yes, this was another popular discussion point at the N scale convention. And the 19th century 460, we've just been blown away with how excited people are for it, how much they're anticipating it, the interest we've received. It's just a matter of course, in the 19th century, steam locomotives were a lot smaller than they were in the 20th century. So we had to accommodate that. And when you're working in N scale, that's a smaller scale, there are some space and engineering challenges that creates. So we had to change prototypes from what we had originally intended in order to fit in the motor in the locomotive and have DCC and sound on board as well. But we're design is coming along, and we'll hopefully have something to show in the next couple months. That project is still going on. It'll just take some time to come out.
I'm certainly looking forward to seeing it because that's going to be a very cool locomotive.
Mm-hmm. I'll hit a couple other upcoming product release in terms of dates here. Some questions. The HO scale EM1, we're looking at a 2026 for that. Still waiting to get a firm date on that, but it is going to be pushed into the next year. And then the 20th Century Limited smooth side cars, which we announced alongside the Norfolk and Western cars. Those are going to be coming a little bit later. They'll be coming in about the same time or shortly after the HO scale Dreyfus Hudson, which we're looking at a fall release for at the moment. And we're also expecting a fall arrival for the Acela 2 in HO scale.
It may the Acela 2 may be here a little sooner than that. I would say August at the earliest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are, rest assured, those models are all definitely still on their way. I have a question here about plastic fill. Just some concerns about keeping pieces together on plastic fill models. Now, although we advertise them as being able to snap together, which they can, we always recommend, if you are having any difficulties with that, to just add a little dab of glue to the areas that you're having a hard time keeping in place, and just fixing them together with glue. It doesn't harm the models, and it just, all it'll do is just give you a little bit more of a robust build when you finish the model.
Yeah, a little bit of glue, and also as you are taking parts, just making sure that if you have a small hobby knife, to trim off any flashing or sprue marks on the plastic parts.
Mm-hmm.
Our factory does the best they can to eliminate those as they're making the parts for the plastic build kits, but sometimes a little bit gets through. So just make sure everything is trimmed and as smooth as possible, and those that'll help with the assembly process. Matt, this is a question for you actually, just that just came in the chat.
Okay.
There's a eagle-eyed viewer who is asking, what's the Bachmann UK narrow gauge item on your bookshelf? Back there in the green box there?
Yeah. Well, I can bring it over. This is the Baldwin Class 1012D. I believe that's the way you say it. I don't think the dashes are said out loud, but I'm somewhat of a UK model fan, in addition to being a fan of, as I've said probably many times, Northwestern American railroading. So whenever we have a Bachmann UK model floating around the office, it usually ends up here for me to put on display in my office.
Yeah. It's a very cool locomotive. It's basically a shrunk down version of the Trench engine we did in 0-30 scale.
Yeah, it's got a different wheel arrangement, and a few other small detail features, but yeah, very cool. I'd love to see the Trench engine in 8009. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Any updates on the HO-130 gunpowder wagons and Taliflin Sir Hayden locomotive? While we're talking about British narrow gauge models, actually. The gunpowder wagons, hopefully we'll have an update for that in the not too distant future. We're at the very final stage of the of working on the design, so we'll hopefully have a sample of that in the not too distant future. And then for as for Sir Hayden, the tooling is essentially done for that. Actually, the tooling is done for that. We're waiting on a painted sample from the factory. So as soon as we get those, we will be sure to show them off on social media and New Model Monday. And for both of those, we're looking at a 2026 arrival, probably a little bit sooner for Taliflin than the gunpowder wagons, or Sir Hayden than the gunpowder wagons, but they are in one form or another. They're getting closer to release.
This is I suppose, a follow up on the question about the N scale 19th century 460, which again we don't have anything to show for it at the moment. For those who are asking, as soon as we have a sample to show you, that we'll be make sure to show it off as soon as we can. Anyway, this follow up question is about if we thought about retooling the N scale 440, and that was something that we did consider originally. And before we moved on with the 460 project, the challenge with the 440, for those who are not familiar, the motor for that was in the tender of the locomotive, because the locomotive itself, because of the diameter of the boiler, it was too small to fit a motor inside the locomotive itself. And that tender drive mechanism would cause a lot of reliability issues because the drive shaft was exposed between the cab and the tender. So we talked with our engineering team about it, and there are smaller motors out on the market that would fit, but not at the voltage that you could operate them on the same power supplies as standard N scale locomotives. And we didn't want to create an N scale locomotive that requires a completely different power supply to run it, and special wiring. So that was how we moved on to the 460 to get that kind of old time look in a locomotive that's a little bit larger, but it can still have the motor inside the boiler. And to the question about what they'll look like, they'll actually look pretty similar to the 440, just with a different wheel arrangement with an extra set of drivers. If you actually look in our catalog online or in print, you'll see there's a stock photograph of the Union Pacific 1010, which is one of the locomotives where one of the road names we're offering, and that was actually one of our main references for the 460. So that'll give you an idea of what it will look like.
Got a question here about whether there's any update on the Stearns Heislers in ON30. Nothing to update you with right now, unfortunately, other than the fact that they're still in development and we're looking at a 2026 arrival for those. But for anyone who's not familiar with these locomotives, they are going to be arriving with 3 different paint schemes and a painted unlettered, all different lumber, and I think one of them is a Pacific Coast borax paint scheme. These were very small narrow gauge locomotives that were found in industries and industrial settings, and it's a model we've offered before, but we're doing something we've never done before with these models, which is offering authentic paint schemes for this exact style of Heisler. And we also will be offering it with metal gears and with Soundtrack Tsunami 2 sound as well, which is the first for these. So look for those in 2026.
Another question about the 20th Century Limited smooth side cars, if there are photos for them. Yes, you can head over to our website, shop.bachmanntrains.com, and search for 20th Century Limited, or go in the HO smooth side passenger car category, and you'll be able to see the photographs of them there.
I'm just scrolling through here. I think we're both towards the end here. I am seeing some questions about Thomas and Friend Stanley, when he's expected to ship. The good news is he is on the water now. So, actually, he's on the water and he's also here in my office. It's our first sample that we've shown a few times before. He is going to be here hopefully within the next month or so, and it will be distributed out to retailers from there.
All right. And another question, this is on the Dreyfus Hudson, which I mentioned earlier. Have the counterweights on the skull and disc drivers been corrected? Yes, they have. We don't have a sample of it here in the office, but the product manager overseas, who was overseeing the project, he did send us a photo of the corrected tooling for us to review, and we told them it looks good and to go ahead and proceed with production. So once we get the production samples in, we'll make sure to show off that those drivers have been corrected and to show off the final completed model. It's going to be just a beautiful looking locomotive.
Definitely will be. I have a question from somebody who's wanting to see a picture of the 20th Century Limited smooth side cars. I'm going to try and pull one up from my computer here.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you
right.
want to answer, if there are any other questions, feel free to go ahead and answer the next one.
Mm-hmm. Just one more question. If we have any plans to make any more HO scale Pennsylvania K4s like the 1361 or 3750, not any immediate plans. I will say that is not going to be a mid-year announcement. That's one thing that it's not going to be one. Maybe something we'll announce in the catalog. Right now, we're focused on selling through the road numbers we have in stock at the moment. Did some couple different ones in the most recent release. For many years, when the K4 first came out, the 1361 and the 3750 were the only road numbers we offered. Of course, they're the most famous ones. They're the ones that are preserved today. Wanted to add a little bit more variety and kind of highlight some of the more unsung K4s that were just in regular service that did not survive until preservation. So we know the 1361, especially now it's been being restored to operation, and the 3750 are both very popular. So we'll certainly look into bringing them back in the future. Just don't have a timeline for it.
Still not having any luck finding where these went.
It may be possible that we don't have the listing on the website yet.
Right. All right, I'm going to just pull up this one, which is our... Oh, you know what? Let me check... Yeah, I'll just pull up this one, just in the interest of time. Got a question about the Prozis double stall roundhouse. Do you have anything you can add to that, Tyler?
Is there a specific question about it?
It just has an update on it. I believe those are all in stock now and shipping. I think.
That's something that we released. This is the one from the 2024 announcements. Those came in last fall. So as far as I'm aware, they are out there.
All right. Sorry, this is taking a little bit longer. I had to convert a PSD to a PNG to be able to drop it into the into the video here. So this is actually just our catalog cover for. I guess I could have just shown the catalog, which is right here. But I'll bring this up so you get a little bit of quality. All right, here we go. So this is the shot here with you got the Dreyfus Hudson, and then you've got the 20th Century Limited smooth side car there. Unfortunately, it's not a broadside shot. It's just the end of the observation car, but you get an idea of the paint scheme, the way it looks. And this is the is it a 1938 scheme? Is that correct?
Correct. This is the 1938 scheme, which is how these cars were originally delivered for the inaugural run of the train. With the blue pinstriping, and in 1940 they were updated to be just all gray. The blue pinstriping was removed.
Yeah, that's a feature I never knew existed until we actually started working on these models. The blue pinstriping.
Mm-hmm. It's very subtle, but it's I think it goes a long way. I like both paint schemes, but that 1938 with the blue gives it a little bit of pop.
Definitely, yeah. Let's see if there's anything else. Any update for Bulgy from Thomas and Friends? Still under development, but hopefully we'll have an update soon. It's another 2026 arrival. And I think we've reached the end of the questions here. If you have a question for us and you've missed the stream, we will go back and check comments. So feel free to leave a comment under the video once it's finished, and we will go back and try and answer it. within the next couple of days. But as always, we're always glad you're able to join us, and we love being able to talk directly and answer some questions for our customers and fans directly. So, yeah, again, for anyone who's up in the upper eastern part of the upper Midwest, up in Michigan, we will be up in Novi for the NMRA show next week. So we're looking forward to meeting you there. And until then, or until our next Thomas Tuesday, we'll be just Thomas Tuesday. Goodness, I'm on the wrong show here.
New Model Monday.
New Model Monday.
Yes.
Um,
And stay tuned July 18th for the, July 19th for the mid-year announcements.
Yep. Got a lot of exciting things planned, and if we don't see you at the show, we will see you at the next New Model Monday.
All right. Everybody take it easy.
All right.